I finished my first year of college, and I'm still hanging in there. Jokes aside, I'm probably the most stressed and anxious I've been my whole entire life. But hey, at least I'll get a degree in 3 more years to show how much I can physically and mentally endure. Before I even started college, I was planning to apply for a dorm so I could live there and didn't have to drive roughly 45 minutes back and forth there. My dad helped me apply for it days before the due date and things seemed fine at first. However, after 2 months, we didn't get a response email, so we knew something was off. We went back to the application site and did everything except submit it. We waited 2 months to submit it. 2 months! It gets even better with my schedule. Keep in mind, I couldn't change it. This is the most garbage schedule I've seen in my whole entire life. I'm sure the classes and time can make up for the misconvenience. Right? Well, entering college, I realized that high school did not help me whatsoever, and I ended up being a mess for roughly 9 months. My first semester was the most hardcore experience I've had in my 19 years of existence. Despite that, I did roughly well for a majority of my classes. However, there are 2 classes that stood out. Physics 1 and College Writing 1. Physics caused me so much suffering for 4 months. My piece of advice to any freshman in college is that don't expect professors to teach you well. I endured so much from physics that I almost cried on the final exam to the amount of content crammed. I somehow passed with a B-, which may sound pretty good, but man, it was weighted heavily. As for college writing, I'm pretty sure I got unlucky with my professor. He was very calm in class, he was witty, had some dry humor, and was well aware no one wanted to stay for a night class. But outside this class, this man was different! For the draft of the first essay, I was so confident that I get some praise and critiques. I got a response email about the essay and my expression went from content to mortified. My essay was so not up to his standard that I had to redo it entirely. For the next essay, I submitted a draft that I felt confident in. But what even is holistic quality? Now here's the funny story. There are a total of 3 essays that you need to complete for College Writing 1, and I've completed 2 essays and a proposal for the final essay. However, I didn't know that the proposal wasn't the final essay, and I've gone a week without writing anything. Now the final essay was due on the same day as my physics final, meaning I couldn't go home until 5 p.m. I went to my laptop at 6 p.m. and noticed there was a 10-page final essay due at 11:59 p.m. Ah crap. I knew I was screwed and panicked for about 30 minutes. I eventually composed myself and had the biggest adrenaline rush of my life and managed to get a 10-page essay done completely from scratch in a short amount of time. I'll admit that the event was completely on me, and I had to respect my professor, but man, that class was intense. However, I'd say the most depressing part about my first semester was just being alone all the time. I had friends from my high school, but there were different classes, had dorms, and had flexible schedules, so I didn't have anyone to talk to for a majority of the time. I mentioned in my DDLC video I've read too much manga, and I filled up my extra time reading manga because I had nothing else to do. I read stories like Kaguya-sama Love is War, Attack on Titan, and Berserk. Don't ask how I was able to read out on a college campus. Despite reading stories about characters that build bonds through basic human connections, I couldn't. I had no friends, I had no car, and nothing else in life really. It was truly one of my lowest lows. That is, until my second semester, because things started turning up a bit. First of all, my schedule wasn't whack. I had a friend from high school who was commuting just like me, who also had pretty much the same schedule, so I didn't feel alone. I also had Chem Lab, and I won't lie that I had a lot of fun in it because I've had some really great partners who are really cool people outside the lab, which was nice. I also mentioned in my DDLC video that my love life is non-existent, which is true and did not end up well. One of them was someone from my microeconomics class who I thought would be interesting to date, but I got shut down so hard. Here's how it went. So basically, she said I looked cute when I asked her out, which was cap because I looked like Hobo Aaron, and also I was too short for her. I'm like, huh? I'm 5'6.5", which isn't really short compared to her, who is like 5 foot no inches tall. But hey, at least I got Sayori to love me. Lastly, finals were still soul crushing, and instead of 3 like the last time, I had 4, and they took so much out of me. Was college an experience? Yes. Was it a pleasant one? No, and I do not wish to endure 3 more years of this and would rather perish. However, just because my experience wasn't the greatest doesn't mean that there can't be worse or even better experiences that others may have. A portion of my friends do enjoy their college experiences, and I'm happy for them, but there are others who went through so much more than me. Honestly, it's up for you to decide. If you want to pursue something far greater, then do it, but know your limits because pushing yourself too much will end up hurting you.